go to the phones. People voted. I want to hear about it. Dale in Florida, you're up.
Hey, Karen.
You're up. Hi, Dale.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I haven't talked to you in a minute. How you doing, Miss Favors?
I'm well, thank you.
Marie? Okay, that's good. Well, I'm feeling good. I voted today, Karen, and I'm feeling damn good about it.
Smith, give him a yay for that. Something? Nothing?
Yay.
Okay. All right.
I did vote for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I voted for Val Demings, and I also voted
Nice.
for Monique Warren. That's trying to do away with the cash bail and all of that. But my thing is, I believe you made mention of this some time ago about these judges that's on these ballots, and they don't have whether they are Republican or Democrat. And some of these judges are Trump supporters. And I'm not going to lie. What I did a Christmas tree on these judges. Well, not really a Christmas tree on these judges. I voted no on every single judge that's not, that I couldn't really find out if they were Democrat or Republican, because I did do my research. And some of them, they do not have a party affiliation, and
Which they're not
the way
supposed
I
to
feel
have,
right
by
now-
the way. Hold on. They're not really. Judges are supposed to be not partisan operatives. They're not really supposed to be that. So there's that. But here we are. But I'm grateful
But-
that you did the work.
Yeah, I did. I did the work. And, it, to me, they should have whether they are Republican or Democrat, because some of these judges are Trump supporters. And anyone that is a Trump supporter, you don't need to be in office, because you are like helping him or what have you. I don't know. But I just don't feel like they need to be in office. I really, truly don't.
Well, I don't
And
think you're
they were
gonna get
talking
any-
about,
Dale,
and I'm
I don't
sorry.
think- and I was going to say, I don't think you're going to get any argument from either Lurie nor I.
Okay. And also I was looking at TV today, and they had this officer down in Miami-Dade County patrolling the voter precincts, and he had a Trump mask on, 2020, what have you. And that's voter intimidation, and he knows the law, and I think that he should be fired or what have you. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Lurie, I saw that as well. Thank you, Dale, and thank you for voting. There is a law, right, that there should be no party affiliation or paraphernalia within the voting space. A police officer in full uniform with his gun, his badge, everything, with a mask on, which I'm happy about, but it said Trump 2020 on there.
Right.
Is there recourse? And who has to enact that recourse?
So one of the things I want everyone to remember is that if you see anything like that, yes, that is voter intimidation. It is not legal. You are not supposed to have electioneering type propaganda. That's why when you go to the election site, you'll see they have these signs up that say, you cannot pass out materials within so many feet of the door. So if people are still trying to get you, to convince you to go for their candidate, they're trying to get a palm card in your hand before you go in, they have to stand a certain number of feet away from where you enter the poll site, because there cannot be any opportunity for there to be intimidation. You don't want voters having the experience that they had in many jurisdictions, where people could show up after standing back and standing by. They would show up at the poll site with weapons, or would be very intimidating and very menacing to people who are coming in. Black people experience this a lot, particularly because voter suppression was so vitally important as it pertains to preserving white power through the electorate. So it's one, yes, that is problematic, but people need to have a few numbers on hand. Number one, 866 Our Vote is a number that you should just have typed into your phone. Take a Sharpie, write it on your arm, whatever it is that you have to do. Take that number with you, because as soon as you see any issues, either with the mechanics of you trying to cast your ballot, meaning they don't find you in the poll book and you're registered, or they're saying that your signature doesn't match, depending on what the local criteria are for elections in your particular state. And because we have a state-based electoral system. There are not a lot of national standards. So it may be that you have to have an ID card in your particular jurisdiction. If so, and if you have your ID card and they're saying you can't use it, then you want to call 866-OUR-VOTE to report that. If you're showing up at the poll and there are people waiting outside with guns and weapons and they look menacing and scary, you need to call 866-OUR-VOTE and report that. You need to have the number for your local NAACP branch in your phone because they, too, are a very active, on-the-ground voter protection organization who will be able to, within the laws of your particular jurisdiction, help to ensure that voters are going to be protected. As it pertains to the party affiliation of judges, that really may depend on the local rules for your particular area. We know that in some places judges are elected, in other places they are appointed. It really does depend on the particular rules for your jurisdiction. However, I'm really glad to hear that he did his research on those judges. And what's challenging about doing research on judges is that judges aren't typically going to campaign the way a district attorney is going to campaign. You're not going to see a lot of debates. You're not going to see judges with commercials necessarily the same way you would, because judges have very specific constraints around how they are able to campaign. So you really do want to, what I like to do, and Eljoy actually did an entire show on Sunday Civics on how to evaluate judges. I like to type in the judge's name ahead of time. What controversial cases were they affiliated with? You can look up the cases that the judges have written, or that they have issued opinions in, and see where did they come down on particular issues. That takes a lot of work. So I just want to applaud that caller, because doing that ahead of time, and this is one of the things I love about this current reality, which is, I hate the Rona, but I love that we are able to vote in ways that give us time to research and give us time to think about who are these people. If I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, go to ballotpedia.com so that you can see where these folks have been on the line. What issues have they been involved in? Who is on? You can get a sample ballot pretty much for every jurisdiction going to Ballotpedia ahead of time so that you can research every single person on every single party line for your jurisdiction. So kudos to you, sir. That was excellent. I was really glad to hear that.
That was Dale in Florida and Eljoy Williams, Sunday Civics, right here on Urban View, Channel 126 on Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So check that out. Thank you so much, Labrie, for that civics lesson. I didn't know about 866-OUR-VOTE. So
it's wonderful.
You did the most.
We send people there all the time. It's wonderful. Everyone needs that number in their phone when you go vote.
Well, it's easy to remember. 866-OUR-VOTE.